It does kind of feel like it.
Jen wants to join me.
It does kind of feel like it's Big Brother, doesn't
It is. It is. It's like I mean, it's not. I mean, there's pros and cons to it, but definitely the big con is not being able to.
Yeah, well, there's that.
I mean, this is America. We're supposed to know more about government than government knows about us.
Okay.
Oh yeah, hold on.
Recording mics are on. You're good to go.
Okay, let's start the meeting of the library board, December 12th, 2024. And it's 4:31. 4:31. I'd like approval of minutes. Can we have an approval of the minutes?
I was not going to say anything. I move that we approve the minutes from 11:14.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
I'm going to go on to the report of
Okay.
the library director. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
So I changed the report structure just a little bit because we talk about the new and old business a little bit later on anyway. So I'm just going to talk about that stuff then. So collection update. We've moved a bookcase from our storage facility room into our teen room, and so we can get more graphic novels and manga because that's what the teens are asking for tons of. And we just don't have space, so a little 2 feet of space we're going to put a shelf in. And except for our Northwest collection, every title or series in the building has checked out in the last 5 years, if not the last 2 years for most of our kids' books, because we're so short on space. We have to keep things rotating to keep new things coming in. Building, after one of the first things I tried to do when I started here 3 years ago was to get a new toilet. We finally have a new toilet in one of our public bathrooms, and we have not had any clogs since then. It's been like 3 weeks. It's exciting for me. It's probably not that exciting for others. Our handicap access door is still having battery issues, so we're going to get some new backup batteries for it, and then I'm looking for ways to fund a new mechanism for the doors, and I've applied for some grants. Hopefully we'll get those, but I won't know until March. Our highest door count ever since I put in the door counters about 3 years ago, we had almost 7,000 people come through our doors in November, which we were closed for 4 different holiday days, so that's really good. Every Tuesday, Tuesday's our busiest day. We've been averaging over 500 items a day checked out. We've had a couple days over 600. When I got here, we were averaging around 200. So we're definitely getting a lot busier, which is great. In-person programming, we're doing Crafternoon crafting for teens and adults on Thursdays this month. Those were going good. We had fun today with Mod Podge. Our Lego Creators Club is also very popular, from anywhere from some weeks it's 5 kids, some weeks it's 20 kids.
Wow.
So it's just been fun. And then we're going to start a teen anime club in January. And then we just had our community read discussion groups this week. And we'll have a new title picked out by February. Everyone seemed to enjoy the pick for this month, for this time for the community read. Doesn't mean they necessarily liked the book, but they liked talking about either why they hated it or why they liked it. Nothing new to report about a new building. That's all I have in my report. If there's any questions.
How is the Monday time going?
It's kind of hit or miss having that hour open the first and third Mondays. We've had a couple people come in and spend the entire time there looking for books and loving that it's quiet. Had other people that mostly just come in to use the bathroom. So like both sides. But even if we're just serving 1 or 2 people and it's just an hour, it seems to be worth that right now. But we might be changing I haven't fully decided if we're going to change to maybe just being open like maybe 2 hours on the first Monday or something like that.
Mm.
We're thinking about it.
Can we think of ways to get the word out a little bit better? Do we need to get the word out a little bit better?
I can try. We tell people when they're coming in, or especially people that
Yeah.
are like a little overwhelmed with the noise and everything when they come in. It's on our bookmarks. I've done some publicity about it. So
Okay.
it's just changing people's routines.
Mhm.
The statistics is what I have next. As you can see, normal statistics. Year to date, we still have the 1 month left. I think almost every category we're well above the last year. So every year we just keep growing. We're so close to getting the same more cards than last year. That's the one I really want to get more of. For the card counts, this is just brand new cards that people have not had a library card with us before. If you're renewing your card, it doesn't get counted as a new card. So that's just another, 500, 600 cards every year that we're adding, which for a town of 10,200 and whatever Adam said it was, I think, adding another 600 a year is really good. And our volunteer hours are way down because one of our most prolific volunteers had to step back for a few months. But we're still surviving.
Mhm.
Any questions on the statistics?
They look good.
Mhm.
How long is your volunteer going to be out for?
We're hoping to talk her into coming back in January. She's had some family health issues that she's dealing with. Okay, I don't have any old business to talk about. I don't remember if there was anything or not, but you guys can remind me if there was. I didn't realize until we got here that the newsletter hadn't printed. If you haven't seen a copy, we have printed copies at the library, and it was also on our Facebook page. We doubled the number of email subscriptions this month. Now we have 2.
Oh.
Sounds much better if I just say we doubled the number.
Mm.
But we are getting more people picking it up or reading it in the library, and then more comments on our Facebook or likes on the Facebook post about it. The main thing I want to talk today is the new business, the strategic plan. So you should all have copies in your board packet. So the strategic plan is kind of just lays out where the library is going in the next 5 years. This is kind of going to coincide with next year. We're going to go out for our operating levy. So it should be in there, shouldn't it? Yeah. So we're going to go out for our operating levy, which is 5 years as well. So I want to get this out before that gets printed, just kind of say this is where we're planning to go. This is where the money is going to go, and all of that. So you have that in front of you. The mission statement is what we've had for probably at least the last 10 years. There's no changes with that. The core values statement, the 2 lines that are highlighted are ones that I would like to add. Otherwise, everything is exactly what it was previously. And I'm open to any and all suggestions of like, I don't like this word, or I mean, Eva's usually great at that, telling me this one word is out of place. But if you like it or don't like it, just let me know.
It looks good to me.
I like it.
Thank you. So the goals and objectives, I have 5 different goals, and I want to have just like 3 to 4 objectives under each of those. Right now I have more than that. I've took all the objectives that staff gave me from each of them. I had them all listed out. That was a lot. But I've kind of either combined those or broken or taken some off because they didn't quite fit the goal. And then I met with the assistant city manager and the city manager this morning and went through these as well. So now I'm just looking for your feedback of do these goals work? This is where you think the library should be going as well. And then do these objectives work under each of these goals? Or are there any objectives that are duplicated elsewhere, or you think just don't fit, or it's not something that we should do? Please just let me know. And then next month, I'll bring back a finalized version.
Mm-hmm.
So our very first goal, which I'm sure everyone would agree with should be number one, but it also probably be the hardest, is working towards a new or updated facility. And then under that, just have the objectives of acquiring the property, finding and securing additional funding and partnerships, clearly communicating our need, and for just general library funding as well, working with an architect for building plans, being creative with use of space and location, and breaking ground. Would love to do all these in the next year, but next 5 years would be good. Is there any there that you think don't belong or change something?
Does the order of them matter?
Not necessarily, but I need to acquire the property before I break ground, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but what about
This one is mostly the
Yeah.
most orderly of all of them.
Yeah.
The rest of them really don't. This one is a little more step by step.
I was thinking the clearly communicate the need could be like number one, but if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. And
Yeah,
it's
I
okay.
can also just move it up too. Okay, on to goal 2. Our goal number 2 is to increase awareness and usage of the library by intensifying marketing and promotion and communication. Several ands there, I know. This is where I need Eva. So basically just to promote the library more and communicate more. So the objectives I have under that are increased communication throughout the community to enhance awareness of all that's available and possible at the library. Library newsletter, get an email list going, and also get it up on our website. Extend the library's visibility in the community. Hosting an annual open house to highlight the library and library resources and library card sign up. Update and streamline the library website.
Mm-hmm.
And then send welcome to the library type emails to new card holders that provide us with an email. So right now, the only one that we're really partially doing is the library newsletter. Obviously, I have an email list going. It's not up on the website or anything like that currently. And then I'm always trying to increase communication, but that's always difficult. So is there anything there that you don't think fits or would you change or going, why did she put that there?
I really love the idea of the open house. And just curious, I'm sure you've already thought of how to utilize that to come up for levy support next year.
Yeah. So the levy should be on the ballot in May. Like usually about mid-May, I think Oregon's election is. Probably have a couple open houses before then.
Mm-hmm.
I've done kind of an open house with the Chamber of Commerce's Coffee with Colleagues. And even that small group of about 25 people, there's definitely people than that group that had never been in the library before.
Oh.
So it's just more of a come in, see what we have, how we're different if you haven't been here in 20, 30 years. So I think that one is a good one, but it'll be difficult to get the word out about it as well.
Is it possible to do some similar type of open house with some of our service organizations? Rotary, Kiwanis, some of those others, Elks.
Like have them in the building as well, or
Yeah, or just invite them in to see what we're doing because you never know
Yeah.
how many of those guys come in.
yeah, it can definitely reach out
Just
to
a thought.
those different groups as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that one.
Well, you have elk contacts, so
Yeah, but I mean, I'm really excited about just opening it up and because you've added so much since I've paid attention in the last year that I don't know the community knows everything that you have to offer now.
No,
Yeah.
I'm sure it doesn't, but you've got Girl Scout organizations and Boy Scout organizations and all these other things that I don't even know of, that could hit a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely want to get like the school district, but also the homeschool
Yeah.
parents and kids involved too. All right, anything else for that objective? All right, goal number 3. Provide enlightening and entertaining learning experiences for all residents of all ages and abilities. Objectives are increase access to and use of library resources by reducing barriers and enhancing collections. Develop services and programming that inclusively meets the needs of the community. Develop and implement new ideas to make the library a more accessible, exciting, and safe destination for all. Computer literacy classes or one-on-one help for all. Forming a teen advisory group. Increasing adult programming and offering tween programs for tweens, obviously, but for different age ranges that we don't currently offer them programming. I will note that the teen advisory group, the state library comes out with a list of benchmarks that different public libraries need to meet in order to get funding from the state with grants and other things like that. We meet all of the basic requirements right now, which are a number of hours that we're open each week, where our funding comes from, and having at least one staff person with an MLS on staff, which is the Master of Library Science. The next tier that we could go up, part of that includes creating a teen advisory group and getting teens involved. Typically, what a teen advisory group does is help with the librarian with what types of programs to bring in focused on teens. They can also help with like decorating the teen room or helping to host like a game night or something like that, or even suggesting different titles that they would like. It's a great way for teens to get their volunteer hours when they need that for school. It's also a good way to get them involved and be able to actually focus on what teens in the community itself are asking for, not just what the librarian wants to do. So hopefully that also increases the number of teens that actually come to the programs.
Mm-hmm.
So that one is kind of going to happen no matter what. It's just going to take a little while. But right now we're getting more teens coming in, and then hopefully we'll get some that are ready to take it the next step. And this whole goal is a little bit more about being a welcoming space than necessarily about literacy.
Mm-hmm.
That's another goal. So any comments or ideas on that one?
Looks good.
Goal 4, promoting literacy and enrich people's lives through lifelong learning. Our objectives are to offer current, high demand, high interest materials in a variety of formats for borrowers of all ages. Create and promote collections that are reflective of cultural heritage, cultural backgrounds, and social identities, and are inclusive of the needs of all persons in the community. Ensuring access to diversified collections. Work with school district to offer tours, story time, research help to all school district kids during school hours via visits to the library or other things. And finding grants and funding for books for all ages. Any comments on any of those? Or anything time you think I'm repeating myself or something we've mentioned in another goal?
I just wish there were a way to get the school kids, especially the elementary school kids, down for field trips to come to the library, to check out books, to hear a story a little bit more often. And I know that that takes away from their in-school learning, but
I know
we ought to do
Holly
something.
did bring a bus full of kids this last year for a
Mm.
couple different field trips. And part of that was the principal there knew that all the kids now in Holly could get a library card.
Mhm.
Since not all of them actually live within city limits, but because they're school district kids, they can get a library card. So they all were super excited because some of them had never been there because they didn't think they could actually use the library. And now that they can, they're like, yes, we need to go. I do want to get that with all of the schools. We did have a high school teacher that was bringing kids over at least a couple times a month. He's no longer at the high school, but I would like to have something like that happen again as well, since we're just a few blocks from the high school.
Yeah.
And my very last goal, so you don't have to hear me talk too much more, support the economic health of the community. The objectives are building, maintaining, repairing, and establishing community relationships, collaborating with community partners to improve access to services and resources, be a center for community services, information, and resources, hosting job or volunteer fairs and job skill classes. The new building attracts new people and businesses. That one talked about with the city manager, and it's like that kind of tied into the first ones.
Mhm.
And then secure funding for a yearly teen internship program. So this is more about kind of just supporting the community with however we can.
Mhm.
And since the teen internship program was really well received in the community, just want to find funding for that, but maybe tie it in with a business or something else in town.
Well, again, based on my history with schools, to hosting a job or volunteer fair would go great with the school district and bringing people in to find out about being assistants in the schools.
Mm.
That'd be awesome
Mhm.
because they need a lot of them, especially with behavior issues that are going on in the schools. We can get some one-on-one time, which would mean a whole lot more volunteers or even, people applying for those assistant jobs.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And I know our staff have gone out to a few of the job or career fairs that they do at the high school and the junior high. But this would be a little more bringing them in to
Yeah.
us, along with going out to those as well.
Well, have a meeting saying, with the school district hosting it, but have it at the library
Yeah.
and say, hey, this is what you can do to be a part of the school, part of your kid's education or whatever.
Yeah. We can do that. So any comments overall on that goal or the whole strategic plan?
Overall, it looks
It
really
looks
good.
great.
Okay. So I'll pare it down a little bit and then bring back a final copy next month to get the president's signature on. And then we can put that up on the website too. That is all I have for the agenda today. If there's any other comments or anything.
It's wonderful.
Looks pretty quick.
Yeah, it's one. I mean, wow.
And y'all talked into your microphones.
Yay.
Okay. Gavel close.
I say adjourn the meeting at 4:55.